So, here we are together live again. I'm so excited to be with you. And the title for today's class, which I've kind of had some fun playing with, is called Soul on Deck. And you'll get a sense as I go into the description about why that title is chosen. And the purpose of this class is really about that inward journey and connecting to yourself and connecting to your heart and to a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, one of some of the areas of passion that really focus a lot of my work in the world, especially around the post-traumatic growth guidebook and my kind of focus um, on on growth and possibility as we kind of evolve through the world. So, so in terms of this inward journey, one of the contemplations that I've been reflecting on in my own journey as a kind of human and the planet and a practitioner, especially in regards to healing trauma, is kind of what really does connect us to that sense of possibility. And one of the things that's so important for me, especially as I sit in the seat of a teacher, a yoga teacher, is that my greatest hope is that I facilitate your inward inquiry, right? That it's not for me to tell you what a connection to soul is or is going to feel like for you, or to answer those kind of deepest questions of life, although, we can all sit in the inquiry together. But my biggest hope is that I create a safe enough place for you to tune inward and to really feel what feels meaningful to you. What is your yes in your body? What does a no feel like in your body? So that as we kind of attune to what helps us derive that sense of connection or meaning or purpose, it's coming from that inward knowing, right? That you don't have to look to me or to anybody else to tell you what that is. And so there's a certain kind of very positive distinguishing awareness or kind of clarifying inquiry that goes along with a soul's journey, right? Or even a hero's journey. But we're going to really kind of inquire about that connection to soul. And, as you're going through your day, exploring, on the mat, off the mat, what brings you a greater sense of connection, a greater sense of kind of that inner knowing, or even a quality of being nourished. It doesn't mean it always feels good, but that you feel more connected. And what takes you away from that inner knowing or state of deep connection inside. And, that as you're on your mat, if I'm offering a pose, a breath practice, and you're in inquiry, you can use that discriminating awareness to say, that brought me closer to self, or that didn't really do anything for me, or I didn't really feel that connection. And you'll fine tune what are your practices and what doesn't nourish you. And it's that same fine tuning that we take out into the world, so that as you're deciding, right, anything like how to spend your time, where to put your attention, what you want to eat, or what you want to watch on TV, right? Like what is going to nourish you? Thanks, Eileen. I like your nod, right? And what's going to distance you from that core of yourself. And so that's my hope. Like that's in a way kind of the purpose of this practice. The other thing that I'll offer in terms of any spiritual practice, anything that we might put in that realm, is, does it make you a kinder, better person? Does it allow you to bring your goodness to yourself first, to other, secondly, to our planet, right? Does it enhance your relationships in your world? So those are the things that I'll offer out for your inquiry, or sometimes we joke, offer it out for your rejection, and that's good too, right? So that you can distill for yourself what is meaningful, which to me is really about that soul's journey. There's a quote that I like from a Jungian therapist named James Hillman. And he said that the soul is defined as the seat of meaningful experience. So something just as simple as that. What brings you meaning? So that, and I invite you to fall in love with your practice. I'll say ahead of time, I almost always suggest having blocks nearby. So if you don't have them with you, maybe grab a block or two, or some books or some soup cans. And a strap might be helpful for you today. So just a few pieces. Julia Hamilton, I see you have a hand raised, and if you want to throw into the chat a question, if that is there for you. Otherwise, I'm not sure if you know that your hand is raised. So I will keep an eye open for that for one more moment. And with all of that said, as I can see some of you are grabbing blocks and such, we're going to take our transition at this point into a internal focus. So this point, you can kind of sift through what I've shared and see what resonates and let go of anything that doesn't resonate. That's all fine with me. And perhaps take a moment to tune in to what is it that you are bringing with you into today's practice. What are you bringing in terms of the state of your mind, your physical body, maybe areas of tightness or tension, any emotional quality or presence that's here for you, welcoming all of you here into this practice so that you know that this is a practice for your whole self. The parts that we maybe like to welcome in, and sometimes maybe the feelings and thoughts that maybe we want to leave behind. But this is a space for all of you. Noticing the quality of your breath. Maybe tuning into the quality of your own energetic awareness, whether you feel kind of a lot of energy or fatigued. Again, it might be morning, it might be afternoon. Allowing that information to guide you on your mat as well. And I'll offer up a quote for the day. This is by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And what she writes is, one of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. To display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others. Both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do. Thanks, Pam. I felt you. All right. So, soul on deck. I'm going to move back onto my yoga mat. You might be there already. And we're going to take that into our practice. That is my kind of offered shared intention. And, hang on, I'm going to switch my view. That is my offered shared intention for us. And as you shift into our more kind of formal stage of practice, perhaps reflecting and what has brought you to your mat today. What your intention might be as you're here. Okay. See little things? Okay. Hi, Michelle. And let me get a little more lighting. What is your intention? What are you hoping to get out of this movement, time, connecting to your breath? And as we shift into attending to the body and to the breath, I'll invite you to bring your palms together for a moment. Just rubbing your palms, allowing that to wake up a little bit more sensation as you feel the movement in your hands, a little bit of warmth maybe generating into your arms, into your shoulders, and then bringing your hands for a moment right over your eyes. You can allow your head to just rest down into your hands for a moment if you like. And allowing yourself to explore this inward journey. Now, if at any point anything that I suggest, including covering the eyes, feels uncomfortable, then adapt it, adjust. Open your eyes, look around. But as we turn the darts of attention that are often focused to our external world, all the sights that catch our attention, all the focus that we send out through our eyes, and we return that attention inward. This is the journey of connecting to your internal guidance, your internal GPS, your navigating system. Even when we don't get clear guidance from outside of us, that inner listening will help you find your way. And if you'd like, maybe sweeping your hands now across the top of the head, across your forehead out towards your ears, across your cheeks outward, a jawline, maybe even a little gentle massage over your earlobes, back of the neck, front of your throat. And then from shoulders down to hands, just a few sweeping movements, greeting your very own skin, your very own arms, down the back body, across your kidneys, your ribs, to your hips, and perhaps, if you'd like, down the legs, backs of the legs, sides of the legs, fronts of the legs, giving each foot a little greeting. Hello, thank you for walking me through the world, carrying me day after day. And then from here, I'll invite a little breath practice. So we're going to start with a breath practice, and if anything I offer, again, doesn't feel right, I'll invite some adaptations. You might want to sit up on something, right? Just allowing your hips to be a little higher than your knees, finding a long spine, just exploring what's going to support you in this breath practice. And I'm going to teach 2 breath practices, and we're going to string them together. So the first is Dirga Pranayam, and it's referred to as the 3-part breath in yoga. And the first is to fill across the belly, or really kind of allow the diaphragm to expand in the breath. The second part of Dirga Pranayam is that we expand in the rib cage. We expand in a kind of lateral direction. And the third part of this breath is to expand into the upper chest, right up underneath the clavicles, right? The collarbones here. So I'll show with my hands. Your hands can be resting, or you can use your hands to amplify awareness if you'd like. And we're going to take 3 sips of breath in. So you can feel this out in your body. Inhaling into belly. Inhaling into rib cage. Inhaling into chest. And exhale, just let it go. And we'll find that 3-part inhale again. Inhale into belly. Inhale into the rib cage. Inhale into the chest. And exhale, just let it go. Good. So the second breath practice, and then we're going to put these together. The second breath practice is Kapalabhati, or breath of fire. And it's a cleansing breath. It's really a clearing breath. So I'd like you to think of this as clearing more space, so that as you kind of clear out what no longer serves you, and you get to decide what that might be, that we're creating more space for more of that nourishing connection to whatever you would like to bring in. So in Kapalabhati, or breath of fire, we're going to draw the navel back on the exhale. Inhale, just let the breath fill, let the belly do what it does, okay? And it'll look and sound like this. Okay? And when we complete a round of Kapalabhati, we're going to go right into Dirgha Pranayama. We're going to go right into that 3-part breath. So I'll guide you through. If your body-mind system is saying, no, this doesn't feel so good to me, long, deep breathing, you're going to get all the benefits, right? This is really just about an internal journey. So we'll breathe together here. Inhale. Exhale all the breath out. Just let it all go. Inhale, belly. Second part, inhale, ribs. Third part, inhale into your chest. And exhale, let it go. Finding a round or two here of just your own rhythmic breath. Sensing and feeling, how does your body respond to the pranayama? Your own internal feedback system. And if you'd like to join me, we'll explore this for round 2. Inhale, preparing for Kapalabhati. And we'll go. Inhale. Exhale, let all the breath go. Inhale, Dirgha Pranayama into the belly. Part 2, inhale, rib cage. Part 3, into the chest. Exhale, let the breath go. Experiencing now is just breathe normally, naturally. Any of the residue, the recalibration after the breath practice. How is this changing that internal connection to yourself? Amplifying it, dimming it. Okay, I'm going to come off of my block here for these next few practices, and I'm going to invite you for a moment to lift your arms up overhead. So it's a little visualization here, and I want you to imagine for a moment that between your arms, between your palms, is this orb of beautiful golden light. Just absolutely stunning, like you're holding the sun between your hands. Not one that will burn you, but just that sensation of beautiful golden light. And as if that light could just rain down through the crown of your head, down your arms into your heart in the most effortless manner that you are simply open to receiving this guidance, this quality of warmth, this generous, available potential energy that is here for every single one of us. And that as you continue to allow this to rain down, just raining through the crown of your head, into your throat, into your heart, down into your belly, into the bowl of your pelvis, your legs all the way down into your feet. And our arms here are going to turn into giant wings, just fanning your body. Inhale here. And exhale, sweeping your arms down. Maybe fingertips grace the earth. And inhale, sweeping, uplifting. And exhale to release. Moving with your breath. As if your breath could actually facilitate the movement of energy. So on the exhale, you're connecting down to the earth, even as your crown goes a little bit longer, a little taller. And then as you inhale, you really send that energy down to your sits bones. Exhale, lengthening the spine as the arms lower. Inhale, grounding down as you lift. One more just like that. And this time we're going to change it up. We're going to inhale, and I'll invite you to turn towards one side and let the arms rain down as you find a gentle twist. Doesn't matter which way. We're going both sides. Inhale, center, and exhale, gentle open twist to the other side. Inhale, moving with your breath and rhythm. Just enjoying the feeling, the sensation of claiming the energetic space around your body. You can even allow your eyes to follow as you go side to side, really allowing yourself to claim the awareness of the space around your body. Beautiful. And when you're even on both sides, inhaling to center. Exhale, releasing your arms here. And if you'd like, for just a few breaths, rotating your upper body around the legs, around that three-dimensional bowl of the pelvis. Again, feeling this non-linear circular shape inviting you in. And then the opposite direction, just arriving, breath and movement. Beautiful. Okay. And again, for just a few breaths, just feeling yourself in space, just allowing your spine to move forward and back, a little flexion and extension of the spine. Maybe hands to shoulders, opening across the chest and closing as you open through the upper back as well. Maybe feeling a little reach of the chin and a contraction around the throat. Perhaps opening your arms like wings, just again expanding and maybe pressing the palms together firmly. Beautiful. And I'm going to turn my back to you for this next one. So here, I'll start us out by coming into the side body, leaning in, I'll say the right arm here, leaning into one side, grounding down into that left hip. You can keep the left hand grounded on that left hip, or maybe lengthening the arm up above. Just finding that side body, opening in the left side, and really breathing into the contraction in the right side body. So it's through those contractions that will actually create more space. Beautiful. We're going to come up here, and then I'm going to invite you to take your hands clasped behind you. Now you have a strap if you need that, if the hands don't clasp easily. And then we're going to take the hands here to, actually we're going to take them here to this side. We're going to take them to the right hip. So clasp hands on the right hip, and then allow that right ear to come down toward the right shoulder. And you can draw that right shoulder down and away. You can draw the left shoulder down away, and breathing into the left side of your neck. Lovely. Unwinding the bind of the hands, maybe a shoulder roll, maybe just a little movement in your neck. And then we'll find side two. So I'm leaning into my left hand. You can keep that right hand grounded on the right hip. You can move in and out or find stillness. And then maybe bringing the arm up overhead. Contracting into the left side, lengthening through the right side body. Connecting to breath. And then lifting up on this side. Perhaps clasping your hands in the unusual grip, so the opposite pinky on top here. And then taking your hands around to the left side, and then dropping left ear towards your left shoulder. You can soften left shoulder away, softening right shoulder away, and breathing into the right side of your neck. Lovely. Coming back around, shake out the arms if you'd like, maybe rotating the shoulders in any wild way. And then for a moment, bringing both feet out in front and just allowing yourself to breathe down into a little bit of a cobbler shape, a little bit of a butterfly here. Just greeting the inner thighs, the spine in this shape, so you can work with a nice long spine, or you can round over, just depending on what feels like a yes or a no in your body. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take the hands, bring the legs up, and we're going to prepare to come down onto the back. Now this is where having a block can be handy. I usually keep two kinds of blocks by my side, because the cork blocks, when we're using them for core, can be kind of intense. So if you've got a foam block, or again, you can even just use a pillow as a spacer here for this next practice. We're going to place that block between the thighs. And if you're new to my class, I like to bring the core online relatively early in class. It's going to support us as we get into standing postures. So our core practice here, block between the thighs. You can choose the width of the block that is going to be supportive for you, and hands behind the head. And we're going to work with a double exhale here. So on the first exhale, a lift. On the second exhale, really scoop the belly in with a second lift. And then inhale, double down. Exhale, inhale. Now I'm exhaling through the mouth just for that sound effect there, but I'm going to switch to my nose here. So just feeling for yourself. You can choose either. Exhale, exhale up. Inhale, inhale down. Giving the block a squeeze, Remembering that the abdominal core support actually is in part those inner thighs and stabilizing muscles around the pelvis. One more like that in your own pacing. And then we'll pause for a moment. So this next part of the practice is I'm going to lift up my right leg. Now, I'm keeping my right thigh in line with the left so I can keep the block there and continue to squeeze. And we're going to continue that same movement in the upper body. Double exhale, inhale down. Beautiful. One more like that. And then lifting through the upper body and staying there, either with the hands behind the head or the hands by your hips. And for a little bit here, just begin to tap the left toes. Okay? So continue to breathe. Just find how your breath goes with the movement. Beautiful. And planting left foot, planting right foot, lowering down for a moment, arms up overhead. Just wiggle it out for a second. And we'll find side two. So this time it's the left leg that's going to lengthen. My thighs are still in line with each other. I'm squeezing the block, hands behind the head. Double exhale. Inhale. Maybe you're feeling some warmth build. Okay, one more like that. And then from here, we're going to lift up either hands behind the head or by your hips, and then begin to tap the right toes. Squeezing the block, breathing, tapping the toes. All right, and placing left foot down, a nice full breath. Maybe arms up overhead, by your sides. One more in this sequence. We're going to take the hands behind the head and we're going to exhale, right elbow towards the left side as we bring the knees toward the elbow. Inhale, double down. Exhale toward the right. Second exhale, we draw the knee in. Inhale. Exhale. Side to side. That second exhale brings the knee and elbow toward each other. They don't have to touch, that's up to you. Perhaps sensing the oblique muscles, really developing that core stability. All right, one more each side. And lower it down. Let go of the block. Let the legs go. Shake them out if you like. Particularly windshield wiper the feet, just releasing out through the inner thighs. And then we'll re-bend the legs, and if it feels right on your body, a few rocks on the spine. If that doesn't feel right, rolling to your side, we are going to meet in a tabletop when you are ready. And as we arrive here, perhaps just a few intuitive movements, maybe a cat-cow, or any free movement of your choosing. It's a listening practice, and your sensations are your guide. Perhaps you too have warmed up enough to take off a layer after that one. And I'll offer up a guided movement practice here together, and you can take it or leave it. This one is a side-to-side movement. So we're going to find a C curve. Some of you have done this with me before. And as we gaze over the left shoulder, you can lift the right toes, take a little gaze back. As we gaze over the right shoulder, you can lift and gaze back towards your toes, finding your breath and movement. I like to exhale as I go to each side. Feel out your rhythm. Again, a little squeeze in the side bodies. And that squeeze is going to pave the path towards opening the side bodies, which is a big emphasis in our physical practice today. Beautiful. And from here, we'll go ahead and pause. If you're comfortable with this, turning your toes under, setting your hips back to your heels, and walking your hands back. For a moment, if you'd like, you can pause here as you walk your hands back and turn your fingers back towards your knees. And we're going to open up not only through the bottoms of the feet, the fascia of the feet, but also through the wrists and the hands. And you can kind of paw into the mat a little bit, just waking up through the wrists, finding the degree of sensation that works for you. So we're not pushing into anything that's painful or owie, just listening to the edge of workable, even pleasurable sensation. And then perhaps walking your hands back now to sit a little bit more onto your feet, and you can reach around and widen the toe base so that the pinky toes are pulled out. And up to you, right? Maybe your shoulders are stacking over hips, over heels, over toes, or maybe you're still leaning forward. So finding that working edge in the feet. Breathing into connection. And then we'll climb off of the feet for a moment, just wiggle them out. And then if you'd like, sitting back here onto the tops of the feet, and for a moment, maybe lifting one knee or the other, opening up through the fronts of the ankles and the shins, creating space. Now in my body, this feels delicious. It feels really good, but I've taught this long enough to know that for some folks, they're like, how can you even sit on your feet, right? That doesn't work in my body. So you might be sitting up on a block, right? And just working with taking a little bit of weight into the tops of the feet as you do so. Now another invitation, and I'll show this one from the side. So I'm going to take my hips to the side of my feet. I'll kind of show it even a little bit at an angle here. So my hips are to the right and my feet are to the left. And then in this position, I'm going to begin to lean into the left hand. So we did this in a different position with the legs, but once again, kind of greeting into the right side body, opening and that contraction in the left side body. Breathing into the intercostals of the ribs, maybe even a little bit of the low back, waking up the psoas. You can open up the shoulder a little bit and round a little bit. Beautiful. And then as you're leaning to the right, see what happens if you free your left hand and reach around to your right thigh. Okay, so I've got a little cross body movement. And then we're going to lift up and take this into the most gentle twist. There is nothing forced here. Just feeling the openness across the chest as perhaps you twist a little toward the right, finding the range of motion that's right for your body. And then we'll unwind that side and we'll take it to the other side. Up on the feet, I'm taking my hips to the left. I'll turn a little bit. My feet are to the right. Okay. And then in this shape, I'm going to begin to lean toward the right. You can keep that left hand resting on the hip, or maybe the left arm comes overhead, drawing a nice squeeze of awareness into the right side body and allowing the left side to open up. Really letting this feel so good, so good. Maybe you take that right arm across and give a little bit of feedback into your system as the right hand takes a hold of the left knee or thigh. You might even kind of open up a little bit more using that arm as a little resistance. And then we're going to come up and around into the most gentle twist. Nothing forced. Just enjoying the shape. And we unwind, unwind. I'm going to unwind all the way back around to the front of the mat. Coming into, or preparing to come into a downward facing dog. Maybe from a tabletop, walking your hands just slightly forward. Inhale, lifting head, hips, and exhale, lifting knees off of the earth as you make your way into this first downward facing dog. And then make it yours. Maybe you're walking it out. Maybe you bend both knees deeply and re-lengthen. Just tuning into how is your body responding to this shape for the first time today. At least the first time in this class, right? And then I'll invite a little bit of side body awareness even here. So if you lift up to your tippy toes and let both heels drop to the right, pressing into your left hand and breathing across the left shoulder, left rib cage, wherever you sense and feel this in your body. And then we're going to roll the feet through center and taking both heels to the left, pressing a little more firmly into the right hand. What does this side of your body have to share? And then we come back through center. Beautiful. And we're going to find another little variation of down dog by walking the hands at least a handprint closer to your feet. So closing the distance here. And some of you have done this with me before. We're going to take that right hand across and under the body to the outside of the left leg. And again, without force, we've got a twisting action here. See if you can resist the twist with your hips so that you're twisting from the mid-spine. Maybe you're gazing underneath your left armpit. I showered this morning. It smells okay today, right? So feel out for your body. What's happening in this twist? And then we're going to unwind, planting the right hand. We'll take it to the other side. Left arm under and across, using the arm resisting with the hips, and a little bit of a twist here. And it's still early in practice, so finding your way in. Unwinding from side two, planting your hands, and this time a little walk with your feet forward, into a ragdoll. And with a ragdoll, letting your knees be nice and bent. And then perhaps taking your hands around, clasping them as we did earlier, or using a strap if you prefer. And then taking those clasped hands up and overhead. Letting your head be heavy, nodding yes, shaking no. Maybe releasing some tension with a sigh or a sound. Ah. Perhaps midway here, switching the grip of the hands, just evening yourself out. Rejoining, and you can find a little bend in the elbows and just play with drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And then slowly, by way of your sacrum, releasing your hands to the earth. Again, bent knees. I'm going to invite for today a roll up to standing. Taking this nice and slow, grounding downward into your feet and pressing down to roll up. You know, sometimes we say vertebrae by vertebrae, really letting yourself take it slowly enough, allowing the head to come up last. And as you arrive in standing, a moment to recalibrate, to sense and feel what's present for you here and now. New relationship to gravity. Okay, so we're going to go down towards ragdoll and lift up again, and I'm going to show this from as I face you, because we're going to take it towards a side. So I'm going to start with my right side, and I'm going to take my right ear towards my right shoulder. I'm gazing down towards my right foot, and I'm going to allow that to take me down. I'm actually going to widen my stance a little, just to take me down into that fold over the right leg. So I'm laterally going down, and you might begin to sense and feel the left side of your side body, your QL, the muscle, that large muscle between the ribs and the hip bone on that left side. So rolling down, and then we're going to roll up, staying on that right side lean as you slowly come all the way back up to standing. Take a moment to recalibrate. Sensing and feeling how your body responds to the lateral roll. And we're going to sushi roll down the other side here. So again, taking your gaze to your left shoulder, your chin that direction, and begin to roll, bending through the knees so you have nice, soft, flexible base here. Maybe this is a little bit like good for our near Halloween, feeling like it's the zombie dance here. Just let the upper body hang. And then we're going to press into the feet and roll all the way up the left side. And back up to standing. So you might sense and feel that your body is adjusting in some interesting ways. Heartbeat, breath, temperature, sensation changes in these roll downs and rolls up. So really pay attention, right? You might even feel some kind of internal organ response to this. Swallowing. Your autonomic nervous system is getting a little workout here. And we're going to come back to our side body focus. I'm going to show this facing away from you again. And as we inhale, and we're going to come to the right, I'm going to invite you, I'm going to lean towards the right. I'm going to take the right hand behind. And just allowing that, and a little bit of that contact of right hand to left hip as you lean over toward the right side. You can have a micro bend in the legs. Feet can be hip width apart. Just feeling your way into the side bend. You might gaze down, forward, or up. And then slowly unwind. And we're going to take it to the other side. This time, the left hand's going to slide across the low back. Hand can make contact with the right hip as you lean towards the left. Connecting to breath, body awareness, a little squeeze in the left side body. And slowly, slowly inhale to center. And exhale, releasing the arms. From here, inhale as we draw the arms up. Exhale, I invite you to discover your forward fold once again. This time we'll find a halfway lift, lengthening the spine. And exhale, planting the arms, and we'll come down to the earth for this first one. So stepping back with the legs, really feeling for a moment this pause in the plank pose. And then exhale slowly, firmly, all the way down to the earth. From here, a little bit of that same mudra that we're taking with the hands, Yogi Mudra, we're going to take the hands clasping them behind the back or using a strap. And allowing the connected hands to begin to lift through your shoulders. Your gaze can be down, back of the neck can be long. To start here, really grounding down through the feet and squeezing shoulders towards each other, drawing the rib cage toward each other. Navel is strong. And then exhale, we're going to lower just enough to switch the placement of the hands, to switch the grip there, opposite pinky on top. And then this time as we come into locust, lifting up through the upper body, maybe reaching long through the toes, as the legs might also lift up off the mat. A few breaths here, feeling the strength of your back body. And exhale, release, soften to the earth. This time, hands by the rib cage, and then perhaps coming into a cobra, perhaps rolling to the top of the feet and lifting the knees off of the earth for an upward dog. However you want to arrive there, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. And it's our second time in this shape, in this practice. What's changing so far? It's a nice little home base to greet yourself and notice the subtleties. And when you're ready, if you'd like, you can walk yourself forward. Maybe you hop yourself forward. We'll meet at the front of the mat. Finding a halfway lift, lengthening your spine. Exhale, folding in. And we'll meet all the way up in standing, pressing into the feet as you rise and release. So, sun salutation, right? Taking a moment as your body is moving through these postural changes to recalibrate, to receive, to notice. And when you're ready, we'll move again. Inhale, freeing the arms. Maybe the gaze lifts, finding that orb of light, that sunlight. Exhale as it rains down through your body. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen as we breathe. Exhale, folding, planting the hands, stepping back. An option this time to exhale to the earth for cobra, or halfway down, rolling over the toes, inhaling upward facing dog. your practice, honoring your body. You can skip all of that and just meet us in downward facing dog. And we'll take that one more time through, just as we did before, gazing forward, walking forward, hopping forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold in. Inhale as we lengthen to stand. In service of your soul, we're going to take the hands to the heart center. Inhale with your intention as you lift and reach. Exhale as we fold to the earth, our grounding. Inhale as we lengthen the spine, breathing to the heart. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back your way to downward dog, however you would like to get there. Connecting to breath. And in your timing, gazing forward, making your way to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway. We close the circle, exhale. And end where we began as we inhale all the way to standing. And exhale, palms to the heart. Noticing the internal response to breath and movement. Allowing your body to really tease out what nourishes you and what doesn't feel good. That's the practice. Discerning awareness. From here, we'll continue to move together if it feels right for you. We're going to bend the knees and come into Utkatasana. Now I'm going to do so facing you in a moment, but just to get a feeling of this shape, right? And we did this a few weeks ago, if you took class with me then. We're going to exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Really feeling your aliveness. And then we're going to take this into a gentle twist. We inhale here. We're going to exhale, left elbow around to the right as the right arm goes back. Inhale, we sweep up. And switching sides. Exhale, right elbow, left arm sweeps. Moving side to side with your breath. Your pace, right? I know I can move quickly, I can talk quickly, so if you need to slow it down, honoring your body. Beautiful. And we will pause when you're even in both sides, coming back to standing. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, planting hands, stepping back, high to low, skipping the above, right? Meeting in down dog. From this down dog, I'll invite you to step your right foot forward. And I like to bend the knees, really get that potential energy in the hips, and then from there, step forward. It's that nice kind of pounce feeling. So feel that out for your body. And for today, an invitation to lower the left knee. Now, if you are someone where your knee is sensitive, a little pillow, a little blanket underneath there, always welcome. And for a moment, just arrive on this side of your body. You can progress forward and send your hips back, greeting left hip flexor and right hamstring. And as you find this little moving practice, this is a nice place to take your block and set it back outside of your right hip. So eventually, when you feel ready, an invitation to come up into a lunge with that knee down. Again, you might put some padding there. You can choose the distance between your front foot and your back knee. But my invitation here is to draw them toward each other. So rather than focusing on spreading, we're actually focusing as if we had a block between the thighs. I'm drawing that right heel and left knee closer. It's like you could almost scrunch up your mat. You're pulling in such a strong direction there. Now I'm going to show this from the side here. So I'm drawing the legs toward each other. Again, finding that support for your knee if you need it. And then I'm going to lean toward the right. I'm leaning toward the right, that side body awareness. You can keep the right hand on your right hip. You might choose to take that left arm up overhead. You might take that hand down to that block that we've placed there. You can gaze down, forward, up. And as you're drawing right heel and left knee toward each other, breathing into that whole line. You'll probably get into the psoas a little bit, the front of the left thigh. All right, very beautiful. From here, I'm going to come back to the side here. We're going to lift up the arms and we're going to take left elbow outside. Actually, I'm going to continue to face you, outside the right thigh. So I'm just going to take my left hand onto my right shoulder. And now that I've shown you that in that direction, I'm going to take my right hand to my sacrum. And you can choose to keep that left knee down, or maybe you curl the toes under and you lift the left knee up. So my right hand on my sacrum is just inviting the sacrum to be nice and flat, like I could put a little teacup on here and we won't spill. So we have a nice supported flat pelvis as we find a little bit of twist into the mid-spine, nothing forced. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to lift the upper body up. And we'll find a twisted variation of crescent. Back heel is lifted. You can bend into that back knee as much as you'd like. You can draw shoulder blades towards each other. Some of you might stay here. Some of you might take that right hand back to the sacrum and lift through the left arm. Exalted crescent. Just feeling again that opening in the front of the left side. You might take that right hand and drop it down to the outside of the left leg. And then we'll release the hands, moving up into crescent for a moment, just facing straight forward, feeling that rain of blessings from above your crown, down through the crown, the heart, through the arms, into the belly, down into your legs. And then let's open it up, warrior two. You might feel that your heartbeat is increasing, right? That you're rising to meet the shape, allowing that to happen. Feeling your aliveness here. And then from here, an inhale, reaching away from the right leg. And exhale, down to the earth, planting your hands. Your way to downward dog, you can press right back. You might choose a vinyasa. No right, no wrong. From downward dog, We have side 2. We're going to step the left foot forward and through, bending the knees, making your way there, right? Bending, pounce that left foot forward, and then settling the right knee down and greeting this side of your body. A little rest and pause on the earth here, feeling your relationship to ground and support as perhaps your heartbeat recalibrates for a moment. And then from here, taking that block by your left hip as we prepare to explore the side body. So we're going to lift up into our crescent. Once again, I'm drawing left heel and right knee toward each other. Like we're going to close that gap even though they're stuck on the sticky mat and they're not really moving, but it's that action in the body. And then from that squeeze, we're going to begin to move toward the left side, right? Leaning to the left. You can keep that left hand on the left hip, and maybe you take it down to a block. Maybe that right hand stays down or lifts up overhead. Squeezing into the left side, squeezing the foot and the knee toward each other, opening into the right side body. Gazes down or up. And then softening, we release. And this time, as we draw arms up, we're going to take right elbow to the outside of the left knee. We did that in Utkatasana, right? My left hand is going to my sacrum. Okay? So you can stay here. It's a beautiful place to be in the twist. And again, the pelvis is not initiating the twist, it's in the mid-spine. So we allow that to be nice and stable. Maybe the right toes are curled under and the knee lifts. Just breathing. Remember your intention, right? Bringing soul on deck. The shared intention here. And then slowly, if it works for you, we're going to lift all the way up. So we're in a crescent. I've got my back knee kind of bent here. Got the arms open to the world. Letting the heart shine. And then maybe from here, left hand to sacrum as the right arm lifts. You can gaze down across that left shoulder, across or up, whatever serves you. Maybe that left hand reaches down to the right leg. Slowly, we inhale. We come back through to crescent, tuning into that bright, shining orb of light, receiving. And then we'll open it up, warrior two. Just a breath or two here, finding this shape in your body, feeling your relationship to the ground beneath you. Inhale. And exhale, we sweep down to the earth, your way, downward facing dog. For a brief moment, because we'll have one more vinyasa through, but a brief moment in child's pose. Knees can soften to the earth, hips can come back, or if you prefer to have a pillow or a bolster there, maybe letting your head rest on your hands or the mat. Soften. Tuning in to that discerning awareness internally. How does your body communicate what feels good, what doesn't, what serves your practice, what connects you to yourself, or what leads you to feel more disconnected or robotic. And then slowly returning back to all fours. We'll meet in a downward facing dog for our transition into this next flow. And just as we did before, we're going to step the right foot forward, and you can bend the knees for that transition. Bend, step forward. And this time, and I'm going to see what's the best direction for me to show this. I'll start here and I might show it from a few different angles. This time, we're going to lean into the left hand as we begin to turn to the right. And I am turning both of my feet. So let me show it in this direction for a moment. So if I'm leaning, block behind me, I'm leaning onto my left hand and I'm turning my right foot and my left foot. I'm on the outer edge of my left foot. My right foot's here to support me, and I'm on the left hand, okay? So, few angles of vision on this, okay? And then from here, we're going to lower, if it feels okay in your body, begin to lower the hips down. Now, if you walk away from that left hand, you'll have more space for this. And if you come closer, it's going to be a stronger stretch in that left side body. So pausing in what some people call lunge asana, right? Pausing in this shape and breathing into that left side body. Intercostals, that QL, connecting the ribs to the top of the pelvis, quadratus lumborum, big strong muscle. Sending your breath there. And then from here, we're going to press into the left hand, into the right foot, up and around, okay? Up and around, back to low lunge. Maybe your block comes in handy, and we're going to turn that left foot all the way back around, so my left foot is grounded now on the earth. And then I'm coming into a variation of extended side angle. So my hand's on the block. You get to choose that for yourself. Maybe you want to lift up onto your thigh, placing the elbow there. So feeling your way in, and then perhaps bringing left arm up and over, really reaching long through that whole left side body. And then an invitation to begin to lengthen through that right leg. Now I'm going to keep a micro bend in the right knee, not hyperextending the joints. I also like my block here under my right hand as we transition right into Trikonasana triangle. Beautiful shape, expansive shape, grounding into that downward triangle through the legs, the feet, and the upward reaching triangle created through the torso, arm, and right leg. Inhaling here. And exhale, rebending through the right leg, descending back to a low lunge. And you can step right back, downward facing dog. Maybe a little free movement, sending your breath wherever is called. And we'll find a side two here, a little deepening into that knee bend, stepping left foot forward, all right? In our low lunge, this time we're going to plant the right hand. You might take it just slightly ahead or out to the side as we press weight into the right hand and turn both feet. So my left toes are facing you. I'm on the outer edge of the right foot, And then sending the hips down, down, down. So they can come all the way to the earth, or maybe even a blanket underneath you, or maybe they're hovering over the earth, depending on what that right shoulder, right arm feels okay with. So you can really gauge this. You can take that arm further away, and it'll take some of the weight out of the arm and the intensity out of the shape. So finding that edge of sensation and sending your breath into the right side body. And then we're going to press into the right hand, left foot. We're going to lift the left arm up and around and over, and turning into low lunge. Here a block outside of the left thigh, the left shin, and then turning the right foot so the right heel is down now. And then opening up into your variation of extended side angle. Left hand can be on the block, or it can lift up to thigh. Maybe right arm reaches long overhead. Continuing to press into the feet. You might even explore that same feeling of drawing left heel and right foot toward each other, like you're going to scrunch up the mat, feeling that strength of the inner thighs. And when and if you're ready, maybe begin to lengthen through that left leg. You can keep a micro bend. You can use your block here as we lift up into Trikonasana triangle. And then slowly rebending the left knee, setting the hands down. And from here, I'll invite you just to take a step forward with the right foot to meet the left. Maybe a halfway lift. We're going to meet in standing. So I'll offer up here a variation of tree pose as our balance for today. And in this variation, I'm going to start out with the left foot as my standing grounded leg, and I'll invite you to join me in really visualizing that you're sending roots down into the center of the earth. That one of my teachers likes to say, it's like you're filling the left leg with sand, right? It's like a sand heaviness of that groundedness. And then that right leg just gets to be lighter. And you can keep the toes on the mat if you prefer, or you can use a windowsill or a chair, or perhaps you join me in taking the right foot to the inside of the left leg. And then for a moment, perhaps just allowing your branches to extend. You might even explore that image of that orb of light, raining light down through your branches, through the crown of your head into your heart. And here's our variation for today, an invitation to take this even into a side bend, and it can be tricky, and you can use your gaze for balance. As we draw the right elbow down toward the right knee, and then I like to slide the right forearm just to rest onto the thigh as the left arm comes overhead. So a tricky little balance here. Feel it. Feel if it's right for you today. And guess what? If you come out of balance, that's okay too. All right, just exploring your rootedness, the strength of the side bodies. And then slowly unwind, unwind. 2 feet on the floor. And for a moment, just notice left and right sides of your body. Breath, quality of mind, quality of emotional tone, all of those layers of self. breath and energy. And we'll take it into side two. Let's ground into the right leg, filling it with sand, sending roots down, down, down until the left foot is not needed on the ground. And you can take that left foot to the inside of the right leg. It can be below the knee, above the knee, just not directly against the knee, right? And then you could stay here, hands on heart, or maybe you lift the arms. Catch that rain of blessings. Of all the souls that have shown their light, really shared their light with the world, left behind a trail of soul brightness, that golden clarity that helps to guide us in times of darkness. And as you connect to that own soul light within yourself, you inevitably become that guide for others, perhaps beginning to take this into that side bend, the risks we take in the world to come out of balance, and how do we stay rooted, even if we fall, even if we fall. And then when you're ready, returning, 2 feet on the earth. Perhaps palm over your heart. And then slowly inhale, exhale. Let's lower to the earth. Inhale halfway. And this time as we exhale, bending through the knees, lowering yourself back. Seated for a moment. For a seated forward fold, just an opportunity to draw this all inward. And I'll start here in Dandasana, staff pose, just drawing both feet forward. A moment here is to feel the length of your spine, and this might be your forward fold, right? This 90-degree angle is a wonderful, supportive, strengthening shape, and you might begin to walk forward, and you might keep the spine long here. You might bend into the knees here a little bit to keep some softness in the back of the legs. Some of you might begin to round forward, and there's really an aspect of listening to your body, especially your low spine, in these forward folds. And as you arrive, in whichever version you're taking, long spine, rounded, just allowing yourself to tune inward once again. What's the feedback that you're receiving from your body today? And then using your hands, walking yourself back up, bending your knees, and rolling all the way back down, back down. So perhaps a moment here with the feet out at the edges of the mat, just to let the knees fall to one side. And then inhaling them through center and falling to the other side. And back to center. And if you'd like, drawing both knees into the chest and tuning into your body. Are there any final shapes that you need? Or are you ready to descend into final resting shape, Shavasana, as you extend one leg and the other leg long, and softening your arms by your sides, and letting the back of your head be heavy. Softening through the jaw, the tongue, Your eyes not reaching. Releasing effort from your entire face. Softening the muscles in the back of your neck and throat. Releasing unnecessary holding or tension from your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Allowing your breath to be natural, the chest rising and falling, belly soft. All the organs of your digestive system held, soft and nourished. The bony plate of your sacrum heavy. Muscular holding in your hips, your legs, your feet, softening and letting go. And then even the action of your thinking mind, for a moment, suspends the need to know. And receiving your practice. As you continue to receive and rest, I'll offer up the words once again from Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who says that one of the most calming and powerful actions that you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire, and to display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others. Both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things that you can do. So as always, stay here, rest and receive as long as you would like. And if you're ready, returning back to sitting, regrouping, receiving, and as we arrive to close our practice together, if you would like, perhaps placing palm over your heart, or palm to palm in front of your heart. Whatever feels like a yes. The gratitude for showing up again and again in this world that is in such need of that presence, of that shining light. And gratitude for you for showing up again today. Namaste. I am going to stop our recording.